All right, guys, in today's video, right, we are going to be showing you guys how to get OpenWrt to do DDNS with Cloudflare, because it's not necessarily complicated, but there are definitely a few steps. Okay, as you can see here, I am in my Cloudflare account, and we see I have made a website here called temp. I just made temp, just to show you guys this as an example, and I gave it just a random BS IP address just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so you know how you get there, right? You go into your Cloudflare account, which you should already know. If you're here, you already know how to do all this, right? You click on your domains, right? Go to DNS, go to records, right? And you're going to add a record, right? You're going to make your address. All right, cool, right? That part's easy. Now, the part that, most people don't know is you have to make an API token. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to make an API token. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create tokens. And I'll have the link in the description too. So just to make that easy for you guys. So we're going to create a token, and we're going to use the DNS one as a template just to save us some clicks. As you can see here for permissions, token name here. So I'm just call this demo. All right, for the name. And as we see here, permissions, right? So set the zone, DNS, and edit, right? Because we wanted to edit the DNS settings, which is going to be the IP address, right? And then for zone resource, we're going to include, and then you can either do specific zones or you can do all the zones, right? If you want this token to work for, all of the zones that you have, or basically all the websites you have to be able to edit it, this is what you do. Otherwise, you would do specific zones, and then you would select, whatever website that you want to be able to edit the DNS settings to. Okay. You probably wouldn't mess with this for the address filtering unless, you're doing like some fancy stuff, as well as the TTL for how long you want this token to stay alive. Now, because this is just a demo, I'm just going to keep this up for like a day. Okay. Just so that way I don't have to delete it myself later. But we're going to go ahead and continue the summary. And I'll just go ahead and hit all zones for right now. Right, so there we go, right? DNS, all zones is going to show me the date that they'll delete this token. Hit create. Okay, and then boom, right? You're going to see the token thing, right, that you need to copy. And pay attention to this part right here, right? So once it makes this token, it will never show this again. Okay, and it even gives you like some little code here if you want to do some verifications, which we're gonna have something else for that. Okay, but make sure you copy this and make sure you save it. Now, on the off chance that, let's say later on you do forget it or you do lose it or whatever, you can always click on here to like the token, and then you can just re-roll it. Okay, when you re-roll it, it changes the token, and then boom, see, you got a whole different token now. Okay, so let's go to make sure we copy this. And as you saw, since I already have it, my stuff, I am not gonna really bother with this too much. Oh, actually, I probably will. Anyway, now let's go ahead and talk about OpenWrt. All right. So now with OpenWrt, right, you need to install a few packages. Okay. And where's my little handy dandy notepad? Right here. And what we need is these packages here. We need luci-app-ddns, because that comes with the DNS scripts in it. So you don't have to like manually do both. You just do this and it'll give both of them. You need this wget-ssl. You need CA certificates. And for Cloudflare specifically, man, that is a hard word to say, Cloudflare, you need this as well. DNS scripts, Cloudflare. All right. So once you install those, which you should already know what you're doing, right? OpenWrt. Of course, I'm using like one of the other themes, so yours will probably most certainly look a little different. Just what is it? System software. Boom. Right. You type in each one. Well, you update the list, type each one, and then install it. The usual stuff. You ain't gotta worry about it. All right. Once you get all that, then you want to come here to services, and then you're going to go to Dynamic DNS. Okay, because that's what's gonna pop up. If it doesn't show up, just like click on some other stuff first, and then try to see if it pops up. Because sometimes it needs to like reload, like the page needs to reload or whatever, in order for it to come up. But boom, right? So we do it, and then here we go. Right, we are now in our dynamic DNS, and as you can see here, it's, well, yeah, because I currently have it running. Yours might not be running. If it is, if it's not, you can just always start it, but after you make your edit your settings. Okay, but as you can see here, right, because it already shows that I have my my stuff on here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to now add that address. Now you can do, right, you know, it's easy to do, you know, the main domain, right? So that part's easy, right? The subdomains are a little bit more slightly different, so we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead now and let us make it. So oh, I probably should show you, right? So we're going to click add new services, right? So we're going to add it, and then boom, we're going to come here, right? So I'm gonna just call this demo IP4, and then for DDNS service provider, right, we're going to click the Cloudflare, because this is for Cloudflare. All right, and then after I hit create, boom, right here I am at this address here. So now host name, okay, the host name is going to be the subdomain in its entirety, and then the actual domain is going to be the subdomain, but instead of the period, you're going to do the @. So what did I do? I think I said temp, right? So temp, right? So we're going to do temp dot my domain, right? IP4 Cloudflare, and then the domain is going to be temp, right? Because that's the name of my subdomain I made for this example. And then you're going to do your actual domain. All right. And so now we're going to talk about the username and password. So as you saw, right, we have that token, right, which is this long thing here. And then I want to say this should be bearer, right? I don't know the history behind why they selected that name, but you know, that's what it is. So bearer, and then the token, right? Boom. Fantastic stuff. Nothing else you really need to do here. However, Cloudflare specifically requires you to use HTTP secure. So we are going to make sure we hit that checkbox, and that's about it, right? There's nothing else really that you really need to mess with over here. Unless you want to, for whatever reason, right? This log file shouldn't exist because we haven't saved it yet. And now we're going to go ahead and hit save. And then, of course, don't forget to then apply the changes, right? So, you know, save, apply, or you come up here to click on this in order to see this. And we're going to go ahead and save and apply. All right. And as you can see, it came up, and we know that it looks like, or at least, you know, it appears to be working because it picked up the IP address, the little fake IP address that we had put in it. So now let's go ahead and let's hit reload and get this service to run. And then once it's done, you're going to see that there's no complaints, there was no issues, right? I just deleted the other ones just so they were out the way, just in case you're wondering where they went. But as you can see, right, you see it updated without a problem. There was no error. If I click here to read the logs, you can see right, that there doesn't appear to be any errors. I wish this was scrollable. I don't know why they didn't make it scrollable, but like I said, if there was ever a problem, they would have it would immediately had showed up right here, right? So, you know, you click on the log viewer, and when I come over here to Cloudflare, you know, I already refreshed it, and I can see that it did change the IP address. I just, you know, edited obviously to hide the other stuff, and then that's it, right? See, really quick and easy how to like set up, you know, OpenWrt DNS with Cloudflare. You know, it's definitely not that complicated. A little bit, you know, it's a tiny bit more involved just because you need that extra like Cloudflare script. You need to make API token, right? It's just not a simple username password like with some domains. Like when I used to have Google, when Google used to let you buy domains directly from them, you know. But yeah, I hope that this helped, and this is our prerequisite video to the next one we will be making, which is going to be on hosting certain websites using Caddy. But like I said, you know, that's an upcoming video. Hope this one helped you guys, and you now take care.